guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, the Bright Side Girl, and today we're starting week 2 of Not So SCARYATHON. So this is going to be my reading vlog for week 2 of Not So SCARYATHON. It's 9 o'clock on Monday morning. I get to go into work a little bit later today for certain reasons. So we're checking in now. It is Monday. I will be leaving soon, but hopefully we can get some good audiobooking done. I did pretty good with my reading so far last week. So if you missed it, I will link the first reading vlog up in the cards for you guys. Be sure and check it out. I didn't do quite as many activities and things as normal, but we did go to Disney and we went to a little like garden center pumpkin patch and it was kind of fun. I'm hoping to do a few more fun things like that this week. Got a couple things in mind. My plans for today are to finish this. I have less than 2 hours left. I am really enjoying it. So far, I think this is probably going to be my favorite read of the readathon. I really liked The Familiar. It had a totally different tone though. It was a little bit more serious and a little bit more slow. This one's longer and is not feeling as slow to me. And I'm just loving the like magicians and the competition and the vampires and the little twists and turns. I'm liking the little romance and yeah, I'm just really enjoying this and I literally see nobody talking about this. So I think this is a good one. It's definitely a YA. It's definitely more of like a fun read. It's not super dark. The vampires aren't scary, but it just has like a magical fun like Caraval type vibe to it. So hopefully I can finish that pretty soon. And then my next audio, we're going to go the villains route and I'm going to do City of Villains by Estelle Lar. This is the first book in a new Disney villain series. It says it's like Gotham with fairy tale crime. So we have all the Disney villains like committing crimes in a city, which sounds really cool. I chose this one for 2 reasons. One, the audio is only 8 hours and we need like a short one to just knock out. Because I listen at 2 speed, it'll only take me 4 hours. And 2, I had a really cool picture that I used for today's current read photo. So with those 2 things, we're gonna do this one even though I don't physically own it, and I'm trying to read mostly books that I physically own and mostly books that aren't series, but this is only gonna be the second series that I have started this week. This and Not Even Bones, which we are gonna prioritize physically reading this week because I haven't read any more since last Monday. I did read part of a graphic novel that I'll talk to you guys about later once I finish it, but I need to just like sit down and read. There are so many things that I like to do this time of year, and we have a lot of things for work too. Like work kind of picks up after summer, so I just didn't get a lot of physical reading time, and I was enjoying my audiobooks, so I just kept doing like things while I could listen to my audio. So hopefully we have another really good week. I've been feeling a lot better the last couple days, even though the allergies are still kind of bad. We're gonna take a look at the reading challenges right now and see which ones I still need to hit. All right, for the vampires, I have read a vampire book. I'm currently reading this book with the skeleton on the cover. We're gonna do another short story of this today. The Familiar was kind of set in a castle, so I can count that one if I need to, but I have another one that will also work. I have read a Red and Black book. I think almost all of them have been. And then I have read a spooky short story because we're doing the anthology. So I basically hit all the vampire challenges already. Yay. And then for the villains, I have read a villain book. I have read a book with a weapon on the cover. I haven't done a villain book set in a castle, and I only have one in mind, I think. So hopefully we can still hit this. This will work for a purple and black book if I don't get to the one I originally chose. And then I have not read a villain short story, but I could technically count the vampire short stories. So we'll see. So I have 2 to hit in the villain category. I'm doing really good so far. That is my plan for right now. We've got a lot of things juggling at once, but it's going really good. So I'm gonna go to work. Won't have much to film for you today, but I will check in with you a little bit later. Good morning. Happy Not So SCARYATHON day 9. It is 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning. I'm checking in with you somewhat early compared to what I normally do, and I have quite a few updates for you. So first of all, I have this adorable spooky shirt that my husband got me for, I think, Christmas one year. I think this is from Bookish Babe Designs. I'll link wherever it's from down below in the description. They have different designs every year, so they won't have this one, but super cute stuff. So did not get a chance to check in yesterday. I need to make up some kind of new plan for Monday. So we kick off a little bit better. I don't know whether I need to get up like a lot earlier or something, because I've just been working a lot later than I used to, and it doesn't give me a lot of chance to check in, but it does give me time to listen to a lot of audiobooks because I can do that while I'm working. Yesterday, most of my time working was finishing Cruel Illusions. I only had like 2 hours left, but I kept having to stop the audiobooks to talk to people and to do different things, so I just didn't have as much audiobooking time as I normally do. You guys, I really like this. I think this is my favorite one of the readathon so far. I did really enjoy The Familiar, and it was kind of beautifully done, but this was just more of like a fun time between the magicians that are vampire slayers and the magical competition and our main character being like feisty and like kind of having magical abilities, and there's like a little romance in here. There's a lot of friendship, there's a lot of fun characters, but it was all like still very easy to follow. There was some really cool stuff that happened at the end, lots of fun twists. I just really enjoyed it, so it's definitely giving me Caraval slash Night Circus slash Shadowhunters vibes. So just really fun, lots of magic, lots of illusions, and then of course vampires. So I gave this one a 4-star. It was a little bit slow towards the end, and it didn't quite make the 5-star list for me, but I really liked it, and I'm so glad that I got to this for the readathon. And this is a standalone fantasy, which is so rare, I feel like. So it had solid world building and everything, and I just thought overall it was a great time. Then I started City of Villains on audio by Estelle Lar. This is a quick read, but I only got 45 minutes into it yesterday. This is very silly and cute. I believe it's YA, but it's reading a little bit more middle grade, definitely on the young side of YA. It's giving me a little bit of Renegades vibes, but with fairy tales, which Renegades is one of my all-time favorite series. It's so good, but this is just really fun and silly. There's like all the different villains in here and regular characters and their kids, kind of like Descendants-esque. Makes sense because it's a Disney book. So I'm gonna fly through this pretty quickly today, hopefully. And then I read the next short story in Vampires Never Get Old, which is a guidebook for the newly sired vampire by Samir Ahmed, and that was my favorite one so far. It was still like a 3.5, but this had Indian vampires, and it was basically like them giving guidebooks to newly sired vampires, and had a lot to do with like Indian culture, which I thought was really fun. And it was like, when you first become a vampire, you're going to discover this and blah blah blah. So it was like reading a little book, but I thought it was clever and well done, so it was like a 3.5. This is not going the best. If they don't pick up more, then I will probably be unfortunately unhauling this one. I've got 6 left and a couple good authors in here, so hopefully it gets a little better. And then last night I was so tired when I got home and just feeling exhausted, so I didn't really feel like watching TV or anything before bed, so I went to bed at like 8:30 and I was like, I'm just gonna read, and Jeff was like reading next to me and we were just hanging out, and I got another 140 pages into Not Even Bones. When I take the time to physically read, I'm getting through large chunks. I'm just not sitting down to actually do it. I'm very torn on this book. It's really intense and very dark, very gory, lots of like descriptions of intense things like people getting injured and pain and torture and a lot of stuff. It's not bothering me too much because of the way that it's written. Like, I don't know how to explain it. There's just a lot of darkness to it, but I'm still enjoying it. But it's also feeling very slow. Like, the first part of this book was really quick and interesting, and then there's a twist that happens that's very cool. And then we get stuck in that twisted part for over 100 pages, and I'm not really sure what the overall plot of the story is, because I thought I knew what it was from the beginning, but it changes really quickly. But I'm really enjoying it because of the different types of monsters, and you guys, there's a vampire in here. So I thought that was kind of funny because it will work for both categories. It's not a main character, just kind of one of the monsters is a vampire, because we have all different types of monsters in here. So I think that the world building and the understanding the world that we're in and the types of monsters and the abilities and what they need to consume to stay alive is like what's keeping me invested. I'm enjoying it, but I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel at the end. It is a full trilogy. I'm undecided on whether I'm going to continue on or not. It depends on like how everything kind of wraps up and where the overall story goes. I think I got to 200 pages, so I only have 140 left, so if I can like sit my butt down and read, we can get through a nice chunk of this. I am glad I chose this for the villains prompt because it's like the perfect villains prompt, because our main character, very morally gray. Very morally gray and leaning more towards the villain side. Just know, very dark, very descriptive, very gory, but not scary. Not really scary in my opinion. Okay, so my plan for today, it's October 1st, it's the beginning of the month, and I need to reset for the week, which means I need to grocery shop, and I'm gonna go to Costco and just stock up on a bunch of things that I can get a lot cheaper at Costco. I get a lot of my meat there because it's a lot cheaper to get organic meat, and the quality of the meat's better than I've been getting other places, which is interesting. And I get some like pre-prepared foods, some cheese, stuff like that. So we're gonna go to Costco and get a huge amount of stuff to like put in the freezer, in the fridge, and stock up because we are very low on food. And then we're gonna come home and we're gonna edit and clean. And that's pretty much the only plans that I am making today, because I need to edit last week's vlog because I haven't done that. I need to get my videos done for this week. I have a few more photos that I need for this week for the readathon as well that I need to get scheduled. I need to pack up the first giveaway to get that ready to ship and just kind of hang out. So hopefully I have enough audio booking time. I only have 3 hours left in that audio, so I should be able to squeeze that in for sure and maybe start something else. But before I go to Costco, I want to show you the books that I got at the library bookstore the other day. I'm only going to show you the ones that are good for spooky season, and these will go in my October Halloween haul. I did get some for other readathons and for Christmas and some other things, but we're gonna save those for the future because there's a lot of them. So these are all ones that I got at Book Off when I went there to sell my books, and a few that my friend got me when she was like running around to different library bookstores. Okay, I got The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings. I had this like a long time ago, and then I unhauled it because I was worried it would be too dark for me. But now that I'm like a little bit more okay with some of the fall reads, I picked it back up. This is a YA book. I think it's first in a trilogy. It's supposed to be kind of like Hunger Games, so kind of dystopian. Graveminders by Melissa Marr, who I still need to finish her Wicked Lovely series, but I just know this is some kind of spooky read, possibly paranormal. The It Girl by Ruth Ware. I've been slowly collecting Ruth Ware's books now that I've read 2 of them, and I really enjoyed the 2 that I read, which are more of her newer releases. So I'm gonna go through and read some of her older ones. I'm very picky with my thrillers, and so far like her writing style and things have really worked for me because she seems to be a lot about the actual like story and the plot, and it doesn't get too dark. So we're gonna keep trying her books. So I got this one. I don't know anything about it, so we're gonna go in blind. I got Shade. This is part of the Shift series. All I know is that it's young adult, old school, paranormal, and I have one of the other books. By the way, all of these were $1 to $2, except for The Unbound by Victoria Schwab. So I had such a journey with Victoria Schwab because I read this Savage Song and then I read this duology a few years ago, and I liked them, but they were very dark. Just didn't love them like I was expecting to, especially this one. But then I read Addie LaRue and Gallant and Vicious, and I loved them so much that I don't know if my tastes have changed or what, but I'm becoming like a Victoria Schwab fangirl. So I kind of want to reread her older books, and this one's actually harder to find. This is part of the Archive duology, which the first book was really good, and it's about like a library of the dead, and you can like pull them out and they'll tell you stories and stuff. It's a whole thing. So I got this one. I spent more for this one because it's a little more rare, $5. Spellcaster by Claudia Gray. I don't think I have this one. I know I have one of the ones in the series. This is like her witchy series, and I love Claudia Gray's writing. She's kind of old school YA, but really fun. So this is like just a witchy series. And then Blood Witch by Susan Dennard. I know I'm missing one of these, but because my shelves are backwards and I haven't updated my app, I'm not sure if it's this one or not, but it was $1, and I know my friend can use it if I already have it. So I really need to start this series. I need to decide what series I'm finishing next year because I still have so many to get to. But yeah, this is part of the Truth Witch series. And then I also forgot to tell you that Friday night when I went to TJ Maxx and Home Goods, I went specifically to look for something and I found it, and I'm so excited. So I'm gonna go grab them and show you. I went specifically to look for this guy. Oh my gosh, how freaking cute. I collect these little Mickey statues that they get at TJ Maxx and Home Goods every year. He was only 17 and he's gigantic. Found the mini that goes with him, and she's like Frankenstein's bride. I couldn't find him when he first was coming out in like end of August, and I kind of thought that I missed the boat because they'll get stuff like all at once and then it'll go away. So I kind of gave up. But then I follow a bunch of like Halloween groups on Instagram, and I saw somebody post that they found him like a week ago. So I knew he was like recirculating, and even though they weren't in my area, the stores kind of all get similar stuff. They had him. I'm so excited. I love him so much. So he's gonna go on my spooky shelf in my bedroom. And then I also found this one, which I completely forgot that I was even looking for. How freaking adorable. He's so cute. I love him so much. Again, 17, and that's so good for how like huge they are. It was just a little pumpkin Mickey. I have different Halloween costumes. So I have a mummy, a Frankenstein, and I have a skeleton Mickey. So we'll have to see what they do next year, but I am so excited to get these guys. I kind of squealed when I found them because we were like on our way to Disney as well. Love, love, love. So let's get going to Costco. I'll film a little bit because we are looking for a ghosty tequila bottle because they have this ghost themed tequila bottle that I really want. We don't drink very much, but we are having a Halloween party at the end of the month, and I just love this bottle. So cool. And you can reuse it once it's empty. So we're gonna go. I'll take you with me. I don't think we're going anywhere else but Costco, and then we're coming home. So back. It's now 7 p.m. I've changed because it got a little warm today. We're kind of getting hot for this week, which is making me sad because we had a lovely week last week. I finished this and I really enjoyed it. So basically this is like a Marvel take on the backstory of some of the villains. So girls are getting like captured and then like turned into monsters. And our main character is friends with some of the girls that get captured, and she's trying to like solve the crime. And then Ursula, Captain Hook, and Maleficent make appearances in here. I thought it was really good. It reminded me a lot of Renegades. Like Renegades is obviously more fleshed out and well written and just fabulous. It's a fabulous trilogy. This was not as young as I thought. When I was like first listening to it, I thought it was going to be a little more hokey. It actually had some darker subject matter. Just some talk about like hardships at home and with life and relationships. So I would classify this as YA, and I did like it, and I probably will continue on with the series. It was very, very unique. Then started a new audiobook, so it went a little bit rogue again. I'm trying to balance out the vampires versus villain. I'm still behind by one villain book so far. So I started Sign Here because this is a really short one that I can just squeeze in, and I listened to the audio and the narrator is really funny. I have the book from the library, but Ledge is like sleeping in front of me and I don't want to step over him and like disturb his peace. It is basically set at like an office in hell, and there's a bunch of different devils or people that work for the devil, and they're trying to get people to sign contracts to like give their soul away to the devil. And it's got like a lot of humor to it. It's a little bit crass, but it's pretty funny. And then we're bouncing back and forth between our main character, I think it's Petro, then like a human that's like a mom in a little bit of a rough spot. She's like having an affair on her husband. Her husband obviously doesn't know, and she's just kind of having a hard like midlife crisis type thing. I'm assuming our main character is going to try to get her to sign a deal with the devil. I may have missed it, but I'm not sure whether the characters are all devils or whether they are working for the devil. But it's really like humorous and fun. It's kind of reminding me of The Gates by John Connolly because it's like very silly and there's like demons and stuff making jokes. It has like an office humor, which I'm really enjoying. And so this is the audio that I'm doing. I have taken Ledge for a walk. I've eaten dinner. I've gotten over half of last week's vlog edited. So we're doing good. I think I'm just going to relax for the rest of the night. I'm going to take a bath, and I'm going to try to physically read some more before I go to bed tonight as well, because I did so good last night. And yeah, I think that is it for today. So I will check in with you guys in the morning. Hey guys, happy Not So Scary-a-thon day 10. is 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Once again, I have been running around like a crazy mad woman because tonight is my spooky girl tea party. So the last 2 years I have held a spooky watch party for my mom and my sister, and I make some food, I make a dessert, we use my little tea set, and we watch something Halloweenish. Tonight we're gonna watch Only Murders in the Building. They've never seen it before. I'm not caught up on it yet, but we're gonna start from the beginning and just watch like 2 episodes. So this morning what you saw was I like went shopping to Aldi's and Target to get some stuff for tonight, and then I've just been like running around and cooking and cleaning and have my cute little skeleton shirt on for this evening. I did read the next short story in Vampires Never Get Old, which was Vampires Never Say Die by Zoraida Cordova and Natalie C. Parker. That one I liked the best so far, but it was still like a 3-star. These are just a lot more contemporary. They're bringing like very modern themes into it with like illness and race and disease and hardships, and that's just not necessarily what I want out of most of my books. I really want to go on like an adventure or have like a cool atmosphere. I don't necessarily like those harder hitting topics. Right now, I don't think this is one that I'm going to be keeping, but I have 4 short stories left, so we'll see how they go. Thankfully is the only book that I'm not enjoying so far, and thankfully all the short stories are taking me like 20 minutes or less. Then I got an hour into Sign Here. I haven't gotten much further into this, unfortunately, but I am enjoying it for the most part. Not entirely sure where the story is going. We've got a few different plots happening, but I am entertained and interested so far. I think I'm like a third of the way through. They'll definitely finish this tomorrow. I didn't physically read anything last night, and I don't know if I'll have time tonight, but I wanted to show you a couple things before my mom and sister get here. So I got another pre-order in. This was actually one that a friend pre-ordered me for my birthday back in April, and that is The Wild Huntress by Emily Lloyd Jones. Emily Lloyd Jones wrote The Bone Houses, which is one of my favorite reads for spooky season, and this one is set in the same world, and so is Into the Drowned Woods, which I need to get to both of these. So I haven't read the synopsis for this because I kind of want to go in blind, but it's got something to do with the Fae. So it looks really great, and I love her writing. And then I finally got in my September fairy loot, so we're gonna open that together. By the way, once again, hair's wet because I just took a shower. They never sent me a notification that this was shipped, so I wasn't sure when it was coming in. So this box is themed for Mastermind. It's got like some kind of detective theme. I have no idea what the book is, so it should be exciting. Ooh, so we got a little tea light holder from Babel, which I am undecided on whether I'm gonna read Babel or not. I feel like it might be something I might not enjoy, but this is so cute. It's for a little tea light. How cute is that? I haven't gotten anything like this before. That's adorable. We got a dagger and flame cozy. Looks like to hold like a mug or like kind of like a pot holder. I'm not sure what the dagger and the flame is, so I'll have to look that one up, but it's got swords and things on it. A little tiny bag here. Ooh, we got a Tempest and Tea pin. Okay, it looks like it opens, but I'm not sure how it opens, so I'll have to let my mechanic husband look at this and see, because it's not opening very easily for me, but it's some kind of pin for Tempest of Tea, which is a vampire novel. This looks cool. So this is from Throne of Glass. And it's a desk mat. Oh my gosh. I do not have a desk mat for my regular season. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh. This is so cool. This might be one of the coolest things that I've gotten. I love it. I'm doing like a giant buddy read of Throne of Glass right now too. I need to start book 4 or book 5, but I'm in such spooky mode that I haven't wanted to jump back into it yet, but I'm enjoying it so far. And then lastly, the book. I get the young adult box. Oh, so I got The Dagger and the Flame, which is The City of Fantôme by Catherine Doyle. So this goes with that little cozy thing I got. How freaking pretty. I have not heard of this one. Look at those edges. These are so beautiful. There's like gold foiling. Gorgeous. Super pretty. And then of course a beautiful reverse dust jacket. In the Fantôme, a kingdom of cobbled streets, flickering lamplight, beautiful buildings, and secret catacombs, shade magic is a scarce and deadly commodity controlled by 2 enemy guilds, the Cloaks and the Daggers, the Thieves and the Assassins. On the night of her mother's murder, 18-year-old Seraphine runs for her life seeking sanctuary with the Cloaks. Sarah's heart is set on revenge, but are her secret abilities a match for the dark-haired boy whose quicksilver eyes follow her around the city? Nothing can prepare Sarah for the moment she finally comes face to face with Ranson, heir to the Order of the Daggers, and Ranson is shocked to discover that this assuming farm girl wields a strange and blazing magic he has never seen before. Fiery enemies to lovers romantasy. Honestly, sounds kind of villainy. So that's cool. I need to look up more about it, but how freaking pretty. It says next month's theme is castles crumbling, so hopefully we get like another fairy tale type retelling. Okay, so I'm gonna go and listen to my audiobook some more and do some cooking before they get here. I'll film a little bit of what my setup is, and then I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Okay, just kidding. I got another Amazon package, and I wanted to show you guys because these are so cool and they fit with our theme. So I am a big fan of glass straws. I just prefer them because I feel like you can see if they're clean better. And also, like, one time there was a bug in mine and I almost drank it, so I have like a thing. But they had these like blood dripping glass straws on Amazon, so I got some. Now these are gonna have to be hand wash, where my other ones I can put in the dishwasher, but how fun. Perfect for spooky season. Happy Not So Scary-a-thon day 11. I'm a little bit disheveled today, not feeling the best. The allergies are kind of kicking my butt. My day was kind of strange. So I got my work done this morning and I went to the chiropractor, I took a ledge for a walk, I did a bunch of like errandy things, and then I was gonna go to the beach because it was 87 at my house today. And I got all ready to go. I was gonna go to the beach, read my book. When I turned the corner to like hit the coast, which is about 18 minutes from my house, the temperature drops like 15 degrees and it is not only cloudy but extremely foggy. This can happen. We can get this like kind of fog layer over the beach. So I was like, I don't want to go and like sit on the beach and be like kind of chilly and not get any sun. So I went and I got myself a kombucha and I just came home and I like read some on the hammock, and then I've been editing the rest of my vlog from last week. So that's pretty much been my entire day. I finished this. I am so torn. I feel like this book was marketed incorrectly. In my mind, it was going to be like kind of like a quirky office style humor of people that work in hell and like try to gather souls. And it did have that, but then it also had this like murder mystery element to it following this one particular family. And then we would get backstories on certain people. The part following the family, which is like a middle-aged husband and wife and their 2 teenage kids, and like their summer trip with one of their teenage kids' friends, was very dark. Like very, very dark. We're learning some things about their past and why they wound up together and things like that. And I wasn't loving like the tone of it overall. So the people trying to sign the souls for hell are not devils. They are basically like bad souls that wound up in hell, and they're trying to get souls in order to move up in the ranks. It was a whole thing. That part was kind of like fun and silly. It definitely had some darker elements. I really liked our main character that we followed. I think it was Peyote, and his goal was to try and sign one of the members of this family, like to get one of their souls. So you're following them as he's trying to like follow them, but you're also uncovering things about like his co-workers and like how they died and why they died and different things going on. It had a lot of point of views, a lot of time jumping. You really need to pay attention. I honestly feel like I missed a little bit just because of how much it jumped around, and it wasn't always super clear when you were jumping because you would follow the same characters. They would just be in a different timeline, and a lot of them had similar names. Honestly, this would probably be a 5-star if it wasn't so confusing with how much it jumped around, if it was just like a tiny bit less dark, and if it didn't have themes of pedophilia in here. There was a character that had had kind of pedophilia tendencies, like nothing really happened with it, but you were in his thoughts as he was kind of thinking things about this teenage girl. And I don't really feel like there was a reason for it. Like, not that there's ever a reason for it, but I really couldn't find a solid like writing reason as to why that needed to be in there. I feel like you could have completely taken it out and the book would be so much better. So because of those reasons, this is probably like a 3.5 or a 4. I really liked the ending. I really liked the mystery, like the twist of what was happening. I thought that that was very unique, and I actually didn't mind the time jumping entirely because you were kind of trying to solve the mystery. This just wasn't the fun, silly ride that I expected. It was written super well, so if it hadn't had a couple of those themes, I would put it on like a favorites list possibly. So right now I'm kind of glad that I didn't purchase it. I'm torn about recommending it and stuff. I don't know. If you guys have read this, let me know. Send me a DM on Instagram. Let's have a chat. Okay, then last night, and I got another 70 pages into Not Even Bones, so I only have less than 100 left. I'm liking this. This is also very dark and messed up, but in a way that's like not bothering me as much as I feel like it should. It's very gritty and descriptive and kind of bloody, so just know that going in. It very much reminds me of like The Monstrumologist, kind of like This Savage Song. This Savage Song is not nearly as brutal though. It's got a lot of dissection of bodies and things, so there's just a lot happening in here. Again, I'm not sure like how this is going to end. I feel like it's probably going to wind up on a cliffhanger, so I'm a little worried about that. But I'm enjoying this so far. I'm chipping away. I have not done any more of my anthology yet because my mood's like feeling a little bit lower today. I just didn't want to risk not liking one of the stories, so I might do 2 tomorrow instead. We're doing pretty good reading wise. My next audiobook, I'm going to switch back to vampires and we're going to start Blood Countess by Lena Popovic. This will probably be my last vampire book for the readathon besides the anthology that I'm reading. This is short, only 9 hours on audio, so I can get it done hopefully by tomorrow. I don't think I have a lot of stuff planned, and then I'm hoping to get one more villain book in besides my physical read. That is the plan for now. I'll go over the synopsis of this tomorrow when I get a little bit more into it. I also used this for today's photo, which was blood on the cover. The readathon is still going good, like reading wise. I'm getting things done that I've been wanting to get to. I do think that the week of my Halloween party, my party's gonna be on the 26th, I'm going to read more vampire books, maybe some werewolf books as well. My party is vampire themed, so it will give me some inspiration. So I think I'm gonna read a few of the ones that I didn't get to for the readathon for that week, and I will do a reading vlog. Last year I vlogged every day in October. I think I had 3 other reading vlogs outside of the Not So Scary-a-thon. I like to do that because we do so many fall Halloween activities. I continue to decorate and all this kind of stuff, but we're doing a little bit less this year than we have in years past just because we've got some things coming up and I just can't decide if I want to vlog. It's just so much work to film and edit, and I really like the process of filming it and like looking back on stuff, but my vlogs don't do as well as the other videos on my channel. And I don't know if I want to spend that much effort on something that's not going to get as many views, unfortunately. We'll see. I may or may not continue to vlog after this. I can't make up my mind. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to go take my photos, probably physically read some more, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, happy Not So Scary-a-thon, day 12. It is actually 1 p.m. on Friday. I have just been cleaning and I filmed a bunch of videos this morning already, so hopefully getting a little caught up. I'm like a tad behind with all my spooky content. I haven't physically read anymore and I haven't listened to any more of my audiobooks, so I don't have any updates for you. Today we're mostly like cleaning and editing, and then my brother and I are actually gonna go get a massage. Okay, I am like a pile of goo now. I try to clean myself up the best that I could. That was a really awesome massage, and I found one that was really inexpensive but still good, which is almost impossible and so helpful because I am just having all kinds of like body pain and stuff that I really need some help with. Amazing. Had fun. We went and got some coffee, and now I'm regretfully at the mall because I have to pick up something that I ordered online at Hot Topic. Hopefully it won't be too bad on Friday night, but we're gonna go check out and see what else they have as well. We're gonna go to Michael's because I need some beads to do some more bracelets, and then we're gonna go home. So that's what we're doing. Oh, by the way, I listened to Bestiary, which is the next short story in this one. No, 2 stars. This anthology is just not working for me. Thankfully, I only have 3 left. The last one's B.E. Schwab, which I'm very excited for, and thankfully they're short. But this is no good. And what's really weird is I loved the mermaid one, or not loved, but I enjoyed the mermaid one. Like, there were a few I didn't like, but overall I enjoyed them a lot more than this one. These just feel kind of pointless, kind of too contemporary for me, and just really short. So anyway, let's go to the mall. Happy Not So Scary-a-thon day 13. It is 5 o'clock on Saturday. I have had a day. I've not been feeling the best with allergy season, and I had to get up early today to go to a crop swap, or so I thought, where we trade like vegetables and fruits and things, and I got my dates mixed up and it wasn't going on. So I got up early. I got there at 8 and no one's there. And then because it was earlier, I had to kill some time before I could run the errands that I wanted to run. So I went to the post office. I went to one of the grocery stores nearby, which I showed a little bit of, got some veggies for the week, and then I went to Hobby Lobby. I got some more beads for some more bracelet making. And then I came home and I just chilled for the most part. Watched a couple episodes of Love is Blind. I'm getting really hit hard with either the allergies or a cold or something. So I just am like chilling today. Jeff has a class today, so he should be done like right about now, but it's like an hour away from here. So I didn't have a lot going on. But for the last couple hours, I've just been doing a little tiny bit of cleaning. I made some dog food for Ledge because I make his dog food, and I listened to some of my audiobooks. So I did the next short story in this one, and it was The House of Black Sapphires by Danielle Clayton. This was probably one of the better ones, but still maybe like a 3.5. This one had a little bit more of like a fantasy element, and like with like coffins. It dove into the importance of the coffins in the vampire world, which was kind of interesting. So that one was fine. Excited for this to be over tomorrow. I have less than 2 hours left of Blood Countess, so we're doing good here. I'm enjoying this one so far. Not a lot to say about it. So this one is about Elizabeth Bathory, which I haven't read Dracula, so I don't know the origin tales super well, but from what I know, Elizabeth was supposed to be married, and then the night before her wedding, Dracula comes and turns her into a vampire or something like that. And then Lucy was like his first wife as a vampire. So there's 2 different women in the story. So I have novels about the different ones. So we're basically doing kind of like a retelling of her life. We haven't gotten into anything vampire-y yet, or that hasn't been revealed, but our main character has basically become like a governess for this woman because her family is in some dire circumstances because her father has died. I think there's like maybe a little romance blooming, I'm not sure, but I'm enjoying it so far. And then last night I showed you guys I was repainting a skeleton bust that I got that was like pink and purple, and I wanted it to be black and red. That was kind of fun. And then I finished this physically. So who am I? This was so like bloody and gory and really intense and dark. There was like wounds and torture, and I really liked it. I don't know if it was just because it was done in a way that I could handle, which was weird because I've read other things that are similar and I'm like, ugh, absolutely not. And this was definitely not mild, even though it was a YA. Really good, really well written. It had some boring parts to it and I wasn't sure of the overall plot. I really liked that the majority of this takes place in South America. That was super interesting. I really liked the arc of our main character, Anita, as she kind of grew and discovered things about herself and more about the world she was in. I loved the world with all the different types of monsters and learning about them and uncovering things about how the government is running them and everything. And then we have a secondary character that we meet a little bit of a third way in the book that becomes a big plot point that I also really enjoyed learning about. So, trying not to give too much away. And this ended on a major cliffhanger. So now I'm trying to decide, not for this readathon, but whether I'm going to physically read the next one or do the audio. I might try the audio and see how the narrator is because I want to finish this series in October. But I really liked it. Just be forewarned, it is a very guts and gory, bloody, dissection-y. It's got a lot of that. And it's not mild like A Madman's Daughter, Stalking Jack the Ripper, Monstermologist are a little bit more mild with that kind of stuff. This one was not, but it was an interesting ride. So a 4-star, and I think this is my favorite villain read that I have read. Right now, I think that I am at 4 villain books or 5 villain books and 4 or 5 vampire books. I'm trying to fill out the whole thing, so I have 6. I have some plans for something I'm going to start tomorrow because I'm not feeling well. I didn't think I could get through a longer audiobook like I was wanting to, so we're going to do something kind of short. And then I have a vampire graphic novel that I need to finish as well. Overall, still going pretty good. I don't think I'm going to have anything else filmed for you because I'm just staying here today, unfortunately. We have not done as many activities and things as I would normally do for the readathon, just because with Jeff having like his class today and like us being a little busier and me not feeling the best, we just weren't able to do a ton. But I do think we're going to go somewhere for lunch tomorrow and I've got to go get a couple more errands and things. We'll end it on a fun note regardless. So I will see you guys later. Good morning, guys. It is now Monday, the day after the readathon. I didn't get a chance to check in yesterday, but we did do a couple of fun things. I did get to go to Barnes & Noble. We went to Home Depot. We did a couple things, so hopefully you enjoyed those clips. And I have a lot of reading updates for you. So we had a last-minute readathon plot twist. This book is not vampire. Like, What, first of all, looks super vampire-y. It does not talk about vampires in the synopsis. However, it does talk about Elizabeth Bathory, and I thought she was Dracula's first wife, which confused me a little bit because I have other books about Lucy, and I thought maybe Lucy was just one of the wives. So here's the deal. Elizabeth Bathory was a real person in the 1500s. She was like a famous woman serial killer, and she would like kill and torture like her servants and bathe in their blood and like all kinds of crazy stuff. Where I got confused is there are theories that she is the real inspiration behind Dracula and not Vlad the Impaler. So when I was like looking stuff up, that was coming up, but not in that way. Plus it's called Blood Countess, which makes sense because she does a whole bathe in their blood thing. I did not like this. Pitched as like a standalone horror. It does have horror elements, but it's kind of more like a historical fiction / romance. It had a lot of abuse. There was a lot of torture and death of like young girls, lots of trauma, lots of toxicity, but at the same time it was also kind of boring and I felt like not a lot happened. I didn't really love the ending. It was fine. This was just really not what I expected it to be in multiple different ways. Even without the vampires, it just was really dark. I almost DNF'd it just because they had so many different ways that they were torturing people, and it didn't go too descriptive, but I don't know. It was just too much and I wasn't getting much from the other parts. So probably like a 2.5. This is well written again, but personal taste, like a 2-star. Unfortunately, and I will be unhauling it. Jeff pointed out when I was describing my dilemma with this that because this is not a vampire book and I was talking about Elizabeth Bathory, he was like, so it's a villain book. And I was like, gosh darn it, yes it is. So I put this in the villain category, which really helped because I wanted to do 6 villain books, 6 vampire books, and this made that possible. So then I read 2 vampire graphic novels to complete my vampire side. So I read The Accursed Vampire. This is, again, was just a cute little middle grade vampire novel. And then another one that I think is also middle grade is Summer Vamp. This was so adorable. This was cute and I enjoyed it, but I loved this. This one's about a girl who's got like a new stepmom and she's kind of feeling weird about things and she loves to cook, and her stepmom is like, I'm gonna send you to a culinary summer camp. And she's like, amazing. And then she gets there and she's really at Camp Dracula and it's filled with vampires. And so she thinks her stepmother is like betraying her or trying to get her killed off, and she has to like deal with all these vampires. But they're kind of like cute and fun and she's making friends and like cooking and having a great time. So I am loving this. This would be a good one for a hike-a-thon as well. And then I read my last short story, And Vampires Never Get Old. I didn't love it as much as I was expecting because it was Victoria Schwab. The writing was good. The story was interesting. It was just so short, and I think at that point I was just so over this novella collection. So another 2-star. It's been an interesting readathon. I feel like I've read some really good things, but I've had 3 2-star books, which is very rare, and no 5 stars. I will be unhauling that one as well. All right, so I read 6 villain books. I hit all of the villain challenges, and then I read 6 vampire books. Technically, one of them wasn't vampire, The Familiar wasn't vampire, but I did hit all of these reading challenges. I did not hit all the activity challenges because I completely forgot to read in the dark. Overall, a pretty good readathon. I'll break down my exact thoughts and feelings and star ratings for all of these books in my Not So Scary-a-thon wrap up. I am going to continue to read fall, cozy, atmospheric reads all through October. We'll be doing another vampire reading week towards the end of the month because we are having a vampire themed Halloween party, and I want to listen to and read vampire books that week leading up to the party to kind of get me in the mood and inspiration for it. So I'll have a reading vlog for that. I'm taking a week off, but I may do another reading vlog or 2 after that. I just have so many other videos to do that I need to get caught up, and vlogs take a really long time to edit. But I have lots of other Halloween fall content coming your way throughout the whole month of October. Then at the end of the month or early November, we will announce the Jingle Bellathon, which is my Christmas themed readathon, which will be the final one for the year. I'm torn about the dates, so stay tuned because there will be a poll for that as well. Oh, lastly, at Noble, I picked up this illustrated edition of Dorian Gray because Barnes & Noble has these beautiful illustrated classics that are like $10, and they have just tons of beautiful imagery, and I love Dorian Gray. So I have the Frankenstein one and I have the Edgar Allan Poe one, and I just thought that was fun for spooky season. I love this. Is one of my favorite classics. I try to read a new like spooky themed classic every fall, and I need to pick which one I'm doing this year. Okay, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, hit me up with some kind of spooky emoji down below if you made it this far. Thank you so much for joining in for Not So Scary-a-thon. Let me know what your favorite read was if you participated. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at The Bright Side Girl, and I'll see you guys next time on The Bright Side.